My name is Takayuki Ueda. I'm a university student. At our school, it is customary to join a research lab in your third year. So I was excited to start the archaeology lab that I had dreamed of joining for so long. Whoa! How'd you manage to get into the lab? There are only female students there, and it's rumored that you need to be pretty to join too. Really? I had no idea. You didn't look up any reviews beforehand? I was only interested in the professor there, so... Well, from what I've heard, the assistant professor that pretty much runs the lab only accepts good-looking girls to the lab. Lucky you, going to be surrounded by all these beautiful ladies. Well, wouldn't it just be awkward with no other guys around? Well, that's true too. I've heard that assistant professor doesn't take nicely to male students. Let's hope you get your credits okay. On the first day at the lab, I was in fact the only guy there. On top of that, everyone there was either really cute or pretty. And the girls that only good-looking girls get accepted seems to be true. The lab students were surprised to see me there. And the assistant professor that had supposedly selected me was also looking surprised, checking the name list over and over again. The students there were whispering amongst themselves and did not look welcoming in the least. Anyway, we split up according to our research topics and started off with a self-introduction.
I'm Yuko Watanabe, a senior here. Takayuki, I see you made it to this lab. Honestly, I didn't think you would. Nice to see you.
I already know Yuka from the school club. She was the one that told me that it was going to be tough to get into the archaeology lab. But I had no idea she was saying so because of my gender.
I'm Shiori Nakamura, a junior. I'm in the same year as you, but I guess we've never really crossed paths. I hope to get to know you better. Same to all the seniors here.
Shiori is known in our department as the pretty girl that guys rumor about from time to time. Some guys might get jealous of me for having this opportunity to get to know her better.
I'm Saki Maruyama, a senior as well. I can't believe a guy's joining this lab. I chose this lab specifically because it was all girls. Oh, I'm glad I have you here though, Shiori.
I guess I'm sorry. I apologized without thinking after being berated by a beautiful woman that could just as well be a model. Since then, the lab activities started up, and we studied together in the library and talked about our research. I collected some books that may be of use to us.
Thanks. You really need a man to do the heavy lifting around here.
Just carrying books is heavy lifting.
And the books you brought actually look useful. Even though we're in the same grade, you're so much smarter than I am, Takayuki. I have no idea what books would be useful to our studies. You can work on that from now on, so don't worry, Shiori. He just wants to show off in front of some girls, I bet.
No, I wasn't.
I don't think he would have been able to bring these books with just a shallow thought of trying to impress us. You think so? Well, there are some set books that are of use, so it's not that special. He might be of use to us during our dirty work during our field trip. Oh, the field work. I'm really looking forward to it. We will be digging at actual archaeological sites, right? Yep, we do this every year at our lab. We go to the site and stay over multiple nights to dig.
Me too. I joined this lab because I wanted to go on the field work.
I see. So you were looking forward to an overnight trip with a bunch of girls?
I didn't mean it like that, and it was the day of the field work. But it was already off to a rough start.
Huh? Takayuki is in the same room as us? It looks like it was an error on the hotel's end. If it was an error, can they do anything about it?
Of course, I had asked at the front desk if there were any vacant rooms, but they said they were completely blocked.
Well, it's not that big of an issue. It's hard to believe that a nerdy boy like him would do anything to us.
I appreciate your trust in me.
Anyway, in return for their mistake, the hotel is treating us to a dinner. I guess they'll do. The field work only starts tomorrow, so let's enjoy ourselves in the hot spring tonight. Oh, it looks like you can choose your yukata design here. It's all so cute. Hey, we're going to get ready to go to the hot springs, so look away.
Yes, ma'am. It all happened to end up like this. But I have absolutely no intention of making a move on anyone here. I don't. But once I return back to the room from my bath, I had to be in the same room as these girls in their yukatas after their bath too. I didn't know where to look, and I was trying hard not to look too awkward, just to make my vision a little bluer. I took off my glasses. Once we were back from the dining hall, we came back to our room to see that futon had been laid out, flushed right next to each other. So now we were fussing about who was going to sleep where.
I can't sleep this close to Takayuki. Oh, well then I don't mind sleeping next to him. Oh, it's not that. It's not that I don't want to, but I mean, does it really matter who sleeps where in this situation? How about we just have him pull his futon over to the corner of the room?
I really don't mind sleeping in the corner, so don't mind me.
I feel bad for shooing you away to the cold part of the room, so don't worry and sleep over here.
Well, but Saki doesn't seem to be comfortable with that.
Why are you making me out to be the bad guy? Do as you wish. It's not like I hate you or anything. Well then, I'll sleep next to Takayuki, right? Huh? Oh, you took the spot next to him. Did you say something, Yuka? No, nothing. I mean, you look totally different without your glasses, Takayuki. You look kinda cool. You could start wearing contacts regularly. I've secretly known that you were cool from the beginning.
I really don't mind sleeping in the corner though. And this is how I ended up spending a sleepless night, lying there near 3 beautiful girls. The archaeological fieldwork began the next day. It is normal to not find anything of significance in archaeological digs like this, especially in a site like this where they allow just us students to dig. Most of the research has already been completed, but this day, a miracle happened. I need to confirm with the teachers, but I feel like this artifact might be an incredible find.
Yes, not only is it preserved well, but I don't think anyone has seen artifacts with this type of design around here. We might have hit the jackpot.
We rushed to contact the research lab. The assistant professor came running over upon hearing the news. This is an amazing find. Yuka, Saki, Shiori, good work. You are the students I had seen potential in. You're set to continue your fieldwork for another few days, right? You can continue on with it. Meanwhile, I'll take this back to the lab and look into it further.
Thank you. Oh, what if this ends up being one of the finds that ends up on textbooks? That would be like a dream.
We were all so worked up and happy. But all that changed the next day. We saw in the news that our findings had been taken credit by the assistant professor. We cut our trip short, and we all went in to file a complaint with the assistant professor.
That's so cruel. You know that we had found and booked the site ourselves. She's right. You had nothing to do with this project.
Calm down. The students' work is that of the labs, thus making it mine, so don't make such a fuss about it. Well, I can try to get your names mentioned in the report, just a tiny bit. If you are care to join me for a meal, if you know what I mean. Oh, and I don't need any guys. I haven't included you in the numbers anyway.
You can't do this. I'll tell on you to the school.
Are you sure you want to do that? Your graduation is up to me, you know?
No.
Alright, end of conversation.
We're still only juniors, but I feel really bad for the seniors.
Everyone? If it's alright, can I take over this issue? I promise I won't do you any harm. A few days later, I had done all of the preparations and went set to meet the assistant professor again. Of course, with everyone from the lab with me. Are you sure you have no intention of rightfully giving us the credit for our find? Like I said, if you can show me how serious you are, I can slightly mention some of the girls' name, but the credit is mine. I don't want to resort to threatening you back. But you'll be in a tight situation if you don't accept the truth. Huh? I have reviewed your thesis. For example, this one, you have taken credit for students' findings just like you did this time. This one? You went as far as to rebury it to dig it up again yourself, didn't you? This is fabrication. There are many other similar crimes you've committed. You mention all this as if it is facts, but you have no evidence. Who would the public believe? A student like you or a teacher like me? They'll believe me. I've done all of these reviews with the professor of this lab. Huh? Why would the professor do anything like that? He's busy teaching at a different school. He shouldn't have any time to do anything for this lab. To tell you the truth, the professor of this lab is my uncle. I have known him ever since I was little, and we were still very close. That's why you made it into this lab, even though I didn't approve you. The professor had been suspicious of your research lab from a while ago, and I was sent into this lab to see you work from a student's perspective as well. It was easy to find all your wrongdoings. I have all of your inappropriate speech recorded from the other day as well. No! Can't you persuade him that it was all just a misunderstanding? I promised to make it up to you. Unfortunately, I can't have incorrect research findings left unrevised. You should know that if you have worked up to be an assistant professor, right? Drats! So you'll admit that these findings are not yours, but ours. Yeah, I suppose I have to. With that in mind, I still can't overlook the forgery of your past research, so the professors are already looking into this matter. I just thought you should know. And that's how the assistant professor had been let go of his position due to his many wrongdoings from the past. His trust has been completely lost, so I'm sure he won't be able to work in this field anymore.
Now it's time for field work again. Let's all hope this time it will be without any issues. The assistant professor isn't around anymore, so we should be fine.
The hotel had failed to separate our rooms again.
That's on purpose.
Huh?
After that incident, I fell for you, Takayuki. You were so cool. I felt like you deserved some credit for that too. So I guess it's good for us to get to know each other a bit better by staying in the room. Hey you two, I've liked Takayuki way before any of... Do you mind if I sleep next to you again? It's my turn! There's 2 people that can sleep next to Takayuki, so I guess one of us is getting left out. We have a few nights here, so do you want to take turns?
Don't go on with this conversation without me. The assistant professor that recruits only girls is gone, so I hope we can get a decent amount of guys to join us next year.